Okay, and now that we have entered our clients into the project, we now need to add them onto the bed list for the same date that they entered our shelter. So only emergency shelters or housing projects, even rapid rehousing projects, will be utilizing the bed lists. So if you are a shelter provider or a housing provider or maybe working with them, this is going to be important for you to understand. So this is on the entry exit tab. We see we've successfully entered both of our clients into the Rhode Island Family Shelter on 2/7/2019. Now, what we want to do is click Shelter Point on the left-hand side, and it's going to take us to this screen. Now, because we're already entering data as, we don't need to change any of this. If you find that you need to change this, make sure you enter data as and come back and enter your project into the bed list that way. You never want to have to use these drop-down lists, or that means you're not entering data as. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to click View All, and this is going to show us everybody currently in our shelter. Again, this is the training site, so these are all fake names. You never want to put real names in the training site. So right now we see that these are all of the people that are in the rooms and the beds. So we're going to act as if George and his daughter came into room 8. So we're going to click on this green plus. Now whenever you see that there's hold, so if a bed was held, that means it's currently empty. It could be on hold for somebody, or it could be a room, especially for families. It could be a bed that has an extra room on the bed list, but it is not an actual open bed. So if you needed to use this, you could click held and then you'll be able to add somebody to it. Otherwise, whenever you see that there's a green plus, that means that the bed is open. Okay, so we want to add the clients to room 8, so we're going to click check in. And now it's going to take you to this screen. On the left-hand side, remember we have the last 10, so I can either just type in his client ID and click submit. And now remember his entry date was 2/7/2019, and he entered with his daughter at the same time. So you would just put 2/7/2019. You want it to be a PM time when you're putting someone on the bed list. And you'll see when we take someone off the bed list, we want it to be an AM time. So right now, all I did was just change this to 7 p.m. I left the minutes and seconds. You don't need to put anything here. What you want to do is make sure you select both people that you're taking off, that you're putting on the bed list, in order to make sure that you select the entire household. Now, notice you see George is already assigned a unit. He's floor 1, room 8, bed 1. Now, if I just click her name and click save and exit, then that means it'll put her directly in overflow. So overflow means that there was not a bed available in shelter. That's not the case. So what we do is next to her name, we click assign unit. For the bed, we want to go to floor 1, room 8, bed 2, because he's also in bed 8, room 8, bed 1. So we're going to add her to the same room. We're going to click select. And now you see that she's been assigned a unit. His name is blank because it's selected up here. And I just want to point out quickly, this says left household only because that's for a future training video. This normally would not say this. We are just going back in time to make sure that we add the client to the bed list for the date that they entered our shelter. And notice I did not use backdate mode. It will not let you use backdate mode for Shelter Point. You just put the date in and make sure it matches their entry date. Okay, and then you click save and exit, and it's going to take you back to the bed list. And at this point, you can scroll down and you see room 8, bed 1 is George Smith, and bed 2 is Gina Smith. Okay, now you'll see that there's an extra bed in room 8, and this is what I mean. I want to put that bed on hold because that bed's not being used. Okay, all right, and that's how you add someone to the bed list.